Hello, my name is Toby. Welcome to this advanced level course on Excel graphs and charts. During this course I'm going to be taking you through the very much extended features of Microsoft Excel 2010 and showing you how to create great graphs and charts. The Excel graphing and charting engine was completely rewritten in Excel 2007, and if you're used to Excel 2007 you'll find that 2010 is very similar in the way that it operates, although there are some significant additions such as the introduction of sparklines. If you're used to an earlier version of Excel, 2003 or earlier, then the changes are really quite significant. Apart from the changes associated with the introduction of the ribbon interface, the graph types, the way they work and so on have all significantly changed. So you're going to need to allow yourself quite a bit of time to get used to the new graphing and charting in Excel 2010. Now before we start I need to point out two or three things to you. First of all, I'm going to assume on this course that you are familiar with the use of Excel in general. If you are used to Excel 2003 or earlier and you haven't used either Excel 2007 or Excel 2010, then getting used to the ribbon interface and so on does take a little bit of time, so you may want to just have a little bit of practice on that before you follow this course in detail. Having said that, I will explain in detail what I'm doing as I go along, and where I think a particular aspect of the use of Excel may present you with problems if you're not a particularly advanced user, I will try to explain it in a little bit more detail. The next thing to point out is that I've created this course so that the best way to follow it is to start at the beginning and work through in sequence. It is a modular course, but it's a good idea to follow the modules in the sequence in which I've created them. Having said that, the approach I've taken is not just to work through each of the different types of graph and chart and explain how to create each one. I've looked at it very much from a functional point of view and said, if I want a graph or chart to achieve this particular effect or to explain this particular concept, what's the best type of graph or chart to create and how do I go about creating it? And the last thing to point out is that although we're primarily dealing with graphs and charts on this course, I'll also be looking at some of the associated techniques that can really help in your representation of data. These include particular graphic techniques, data visualization, and some conditional formatting and so on. So I think it's time we got started.